Thank you. First, I have to say, as long as I've been in tech, I didn't know there were black people. So I almost just want to be happy to just look at all your faces and run through the crowd and just be like, black people, black people, black people. So first, that's my most exciting thing that happened today, seeing all these people of color. So my name is Phaedra. I'm in tech. Before I came to tech, I did not know that people talked about where they went to college as adults. It's the first place where people were like, oh, I went to Harvard and Stanford. I was like, you're 40 years old. That was a little shocking to me. I went to Cal State Northridge, which apparently is not the best school. And I say that in all seriousness because for most of my life, I represented working people. And the way we measured people was by the work they did and the way they treated other people. So what was shocking to me about getting to tech was hearing people measure people by where they went to college. And I was just like, I literally was shocked. I said, they'd say, that person went to Cal State somewhere. They're not as skilled as this person, or their value was determined by where they went to college. So that was the part that was most fascinating to me about tech, is that I was like, y'all realize that doesn't make them good people or smart people, right? So that was the part. I came to tech because I had worked with Prince the musician, the most amazing human I've ever known. And I was a poor girl with a poor mama and a rough daddy, and was in the labor movement fighting for workers. And Prince called me one day and said, Phaedra? And I said, yes. And then you kind of think like, Prince is on the phone. And he said, I want you to work on getting my master's back. And at the time I was like, I don't really know what that means. What are masters? And I wasn't a fan, but what I learned from Prince is the same thing I learned from representing working people, which is fundamentally there's a group of people working to take away rights from people who are doing the work. And I thought about it and I said, all these tech companies are fundamentally replacing public services. And so what that means is all the people that used to not have a middleman, now we're gonna have a middleman. So when I look at public transportation, it used to be that we measured the success of public transportation by how cheap it was and how it got people to work. And no one needed to make money out of that system because the goal was to reduce cost and invest in those communities. Yeah. And what's fundamentally changed about tech that we have to understand is this replacement of that. And so our job as people in tech is to figure out, do you bend the arc of justice so that those systems are created so that the people who work there can afford to be in that transportation? Right. Can they afford to get those public services? Can you create a system where it doesn't matter where you went to college, because we're grown-ass people, it matters, do you have the capacity to do the work? Yeah. And so the best thing that I ever learned from Prince, that I hope everyone has this amazing gift, is the gift that I wish every young black child had, which is someone looking at you, believing in you, knowing you have it, and rooting for you. And the part that I will always deeply miss about him is you cannot explain what a gift it is to have someone who loves you unconditionally and believes in you. And if having this many black people in the room doesn't create that space, then we have all failed. We have all failed. If you being in tech doesn't create opportunity for someone who looks like you failed. If you don't hire someone who looks like you failed. If you don't sit in a meeting and say, that's so smart, to someone who looks like you failed. Right. If you don't get in the room and say, I wish I could be like you, whoever you are, you have failed. If you don't hire people, if you don't walk in the room and go, because when I've discovered, people say, I don't know about them. They're just not like me, and I always interpret that to mean they're not like me. So our job is to create networks and opportunity for people who are like us, and people who didn't go to your college and who have opportunity. Amen. So I just want to say thank you for being here. If you do anything, I think Black excellence is not about us being in this room, but the goal of Black excellence is that people who do not know us now have a bigger room than this next year. Wow.